I think most of us are familiar with the famous praying hands. It's been reproduced in not only in pictures, but in statues and plaques and all different kinds of representations. So we're familiar with the praying hands itself. But I think far fewer of us know the name of the artist who first produced the praying hands. And perhaps even fewer people know the beautiful story behind those praying hands. I would like to share with you briefly that story, because it's such a compelling one. Alfred Dürer was the artist's name, and Alfred and his friend were both aspiring artists. Both wanted to get into the profession of painting and sculpting beautiful things. But they didn't have any money, and they couldn't get started. They never had anything that they did actually shown in any of the famous places where beautiful art is displayed. So they decided they can't both keep trying to be artists, because they had to also eat. So they flipped a coin, and Alfred Dürer won. So he decided that he would be the one who would continue painting until hopefully he finally got something that was worth putting into one of the galleries. And meanwhile, his friend would get a job working as manual labor to support the two of them, so they would have enough to pay for their rent and enough to buy some food for the table. And so it went for a considerably long period of time. And finally, Alfred Dürer kept painting, and his friend kept working at his manual labor. And Alfred noticed that his friend's hands from his work became very gnarled. His fingers were all bent and crippled, and he knew that he would never be an artist. He would never be able to hold a brush steadily in his hand. So one night, while this friend was praying, he had his hands folded. Alfred Dürer captured those folded hands forever. The folded hands. That's the story behind Alfred Dürer's painting. And of course, now these paintings have become prolific everywhere, not only in galleries, but on walls of homes and the little plaques on stands everywhere. Everyone's been acquainted with the praying hands. But I think it's important to realize how those praying hands started. A man who's unnamed, everybody knows Alfred Dürer, at least you do now, the painter of those praying hands. But whose hands were they? Nobody knows. He simply passed into obscurity. And yet he was the one who gave up his chance of ever becoming an artist in order to support his friend, Alfred Dürer, who could become an artist. Well, I think many people would regard such a life as a total waste. Then the same people probably think Christ's words that he spoke in the gospel a few Sundays ago, the Beatitudes, they're pretty foolish too. Because he said, happy are the poor, the hungry, the sorrowful, and so forth. We always associate happiness with being rich, having a full stomach, and having a lot to be happy about, a lot of material possessions. In other words, getting the most out of life. Christianity is full of such contradictions. This is why being a Christian, truly being a Christian, is so difficult. Because it starts with a God who left perfect happiness in heaven, came down to earth, took on a body and soul like ours, and he lived the life of a very poor person. Didn't even have a home of his own. No place, he said, to lay his head. And then he died the most cruel and painful death possible, death on a cross. Now, he obviously was trying to tell us something, wasn't he? Life on earth is only a preparation for life eternal. And every day of our life here on earth brings us either ever closer to our goal or farther away. There's no middle ground. We cannot be immersed in things of this world and still hope to achieve eternal life. With that in mind, maybe Alfred Durer's friend didn't lead such a wasted life after all. The price he paid for eternal happiness may have been quite a bargain. But what about our own lives? If I were called home to God today, would you or I be very pleased to present him our present record? The greatest tragedy is to have to stand before the judgment seat of God empty-handed. Yet the only thing that can fill those hands are acts of love on earth. They are the only things, literally, that I can take with me. Let that famous rendition of the praying hands be a symbol to us of what life is really all about. A reminder to us that each day of our lives must be in itself an act of love, just as Alfred Durer's friend was. Blessed are the poor. Happy are those who are hungry and sorrowful in this life, for the reign of God and eternal happiness is theirs.